live. Welcome, boys and girls, to the Dukect Lounge here live on TalkShoe.com. Good evening, everyone, on this very cold here on the East Coast, very cold Friday evening on this recording here. If you're listening to this on the YouTubes, and on zipcast.com. Yeah, it is 28 degrees. I feel like 20 actually around my neck of the woods. Yeah, and it looks like it's not going to get any better because there's supposedly might be some snow coming next week. So yeah, it's not going to be a fun week. Who knows? But anyway, we'll get through it like everywhere else. We will get through it. Anyway, well, I did not want to talk about this last week because, I just don't like going to get into the drama. I don't like doing it, but because, when you're talking about the games of best or worst games in 2014, the best and positive stuff, because there was some really good stuff in 2014 involving video games. You had Smash Brothers, Bayonetta 2, you had you had some next gen titles being built up. I mean, you have, games like Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of Mordor that looks really good next gen, which I might be able to get. Dragon Age Inquisition. I can't pronounce it, therefore I pronounce it better. I heard that was really good on next gen, even though it's available on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, same as Shadows of Mordor. But honestly, there are some positive stuff. Again, like I said, very positive things that are happening in gaming. And of course, all the charities and everything that's been building, stuff like that. And honestly, even though there are some flops, I mean, Watch Dogs, I was really disappointed with that, as per my review. And Destiny, which I still have, but I haven't touched it. It sits there collecting dust. It's collecting dust, people. It's not moved. It's not done anything. I don't care about it. I might just trade that thing in, maybe get up to the elite trade or something, because I don't really care for Destiny. I don't know. Maybe it's something wrong with me, but I just don't care about Destiny. Destiny. And by the way, I forgot to tell you about the Alberto Del Rio stuff that happened on, the whole craziness in 2014 about pro wrestling. Alberto Del Rio left the WWE, and now he's wrestling as El Patreon. Yeah. The strange twist of fate of destiny that was. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yes, Destiny. Very bland shooter. Yeah, I didn't really care for it. I still have it. Maybe they'll do an update. Maybe they'll do something with the ships or something. I mean, you gotta work for 10 years with this thing. I don't know. Yeah. It's just disappointing. That's how I feel about gaming. But then again, there are some good stuff, and I'm playing some stuff right now that's really good. So things are going pretty well for me. But then, if you're not talking about gaming, you're gonna have to talk about something I did not like to talk about. Even though I know people who are still engrossed in this debate, and honestly, it frustrates me. Yes, I'm talking about Gamergate. It just, to me, I don't really care about it. I tried just to, I think I'm putting one of my other friends, LC, from Center Radio, just says this hashtag, just shut up and game. I'm in that camp because I just don't really care for it. The whole thing and how the back and forth, the sludge and everything, I just don't really care for it. It just really, bleh, it's just, I can't really talk about that. It just really brings me into a very bad place talking about, because be honest, I do see people who actually want to talk about these issues. I see the reasons. I want to see more minority characters playing. I want to see more diversity and such, other than the bland and boring first-person shooters and everything like that. I mean, to me, more games based on characters of different descents and such. I think that would be a good thing. And new things and open not just token characters, but also characters with merit, characters with consequence. Well, you got big stories that have consequences. That sort of thing. Gamergate frustrates me, but I hope after this whole poison blood out, and honestly, it reminds me of another person who did a video about this. Let's see. What is it? It's from a show. I will put the link in the description. Mud to MMO. This guy who is really, Tiger, Rob Rubin, who did this. He had this thing called 2014, the Year of Rage. And I think this, to me, really so. He says, I think it was one of the Buddhists. He talked about something like this, saying, I forgot the whole thing. If he wants to come in, I think he'll say it. He said this. This one Buddhist saying, "Oh, you're not making this guy angry. You're making this guy like, oh, you're making the game, this thing angry. No, the Buddhist looks mad. I think as he said, no, you're making the Buddhist mad. Buddhist, the way the person acts. God dang it, I can't make the analogy up, but he said this, like, I think one at the end of his video, Byron link in the description. Yes, he's probably going to love me butchering and mumbling and stumbling my way through this. But he says, man, I think this guy's angry, after playing a huge damn paintball. But yet he sat there and says, you know what? I'm making this guy angry. So he just packed up and left because, honestly, it wasn't worth it. And I think that's, to me, what we should be doing. Is just, I think, we're not making gamers angry. I mean, everybody's getting angry. I'm making them angry. So I just pick my stuff up and just move on. I think a lot of people should do that as well. We need to be more into be more positive into the product, and move positive to move forward to the future. And honestly, I think, to me, with Gamergate and hopefully a lot of Poison Blood is out, and I'm hopeful we can find some good positive things into the new year, and hopefully some real positive stuff. Anyway, I'm going to take a little break here. We're going to be playing a little something. You know what? I'm going to play something that's a little bit interesting. I haven't played. You know what? I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to play something from the Mega Man X series, Maverick Rising. And you know what? I'm going to play something from, let's see. I haven't played this one. From, Tuck and Roll. I'm going to play Tuck and Roll from this track. From the Mega Man X series. This is this one titled X, and it is played by, let's see, with the artist is it's called Tuck and Roll, Mega Man X Armored Armadillo Stage, and this is from the album Computer Artist, the Overclock Played Muffins. Plaid Muffins, and this came out in 2012, and hopefully you guys will like it. It is a very good song. So anyway, here it is, Tuck and Roll, and it is for you, the viewer, here, live on TalkShoe.com and on YouTube and all the other stuff. So anyway, this is Dukect here, live on Dukect Lounge. We'll be right back right after this. We're going to be talking about Destination Impact and see how that premiered, and we're going to be talking more about that here live on Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for watching and listening here live on the podcast. We'll be right back right after this.
voice and linger on for far too long. He said, my fearless son, you can't be stronger than them all. The birds control the sky and if the drop will likely fall. And you need an alibi just to pass by in this life, cause your shield can't protect you from death's sight. Oh no. When he left to find himself, I left his spirit and body and soul. I also left my family, literally. Cause if he's not worth anything, then what do I know? I'm just a carbon copy of a damn machine.
And we are back here live here on the Dukect Lounge. Phone number, as always, is 724-444-7444. Once again, the number is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. Once again, the call ID is 92417. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Impact. Destination Impact. Well, honestly, Destination America, I have it. I didn't know I have it, but yet I did. I actually have it. I said, well, I'm not going to do anything this Wednesday night. I sat down, let the whole thing up, and I said, oh, Impact, and I watched it. I really did, and I enjoyed the show for the most part. It was nice. I really did, and it was really fun and exciting. Even though the ratings, for the most part, did not did well in the ratings. It got only 2,603 viewers on debut Wednesday night. And even though someone said the carryover released around 8,000, but yeah, it's a drop. It's a huge drop. I mean, it's worrying, but it did have it was really still, was actually Destination America's. Even though with that low rating, it still was top because honestly, it's only have 50 to 60 million people. Only like 50 million homes have it. And honestly, the second most, and guess what the second most thing was rated on Destination America? Killing Bigfoot. Yes, Killing Bigfoot drew 253,000 viewers. Just barely under Impact's. Oh, God damn it. I don't want to be a guy to be so negative, but man, Impact. I don't know how they're going to make any money. I don't know what they're going to do, because seriously, it's funny because I'm looking at this post right here. I'll put the link. I'm going to just cut this thing out and put this right here, because it's right here. Because this right here from Hodo the Chainsaw, this post right here is perfect. It says, this just reminds me that they belong on Destination America. A network full of ghost shows now has a show that is a walking corpse. Brilliant. Brilliance. And honestly, even though the show I really enjoyed, I liked the fact that it was, I really enjoyed the X-Men match, even though it's a bit short. Austin Aries is the new X Division champion, as the X Division champion was Low-Key versus Austin Aries. And it was a good match, but it was short. The tag team title match was good as it once can be, because the Wolves versus the Revolution, and they won, and James Storm is doing his whole Bray Wyatt gimmick. Which, sadly enough, the Revolution is actually a lot better and actually doing more of a creepy cultist gimmick than actually Bray Wyatt. Because, hey, what does Bray Wyatt does? He does nothing. Well, at least James Storm actually does things. He's actually doing things. Then again, WWE does not know how to write. Shocker. The WWE doesn't know how to, actually continue something that's good and interesting, that kills everything interesting. That's just, that's not really surprising at all. That's just right there. But anyway, I like there was some good segments. There was a MVP versus Kurt Angle street fight match. By the way, Kurt Angle. In fact, this is the second time I saw someone in a street fight in dress clothes. Yeah, this is the second time I saw in Impact Wrestling someone in street clothes, not in street clothes, but dress clothes in a street fight. The other one was back in 2006 and 7. I don't know, right around 2006 and 7 when they had Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles, the Phenomenal Angels, taking out LAX, and Christopher Daniels wearing over the dress shirt, fighting in a street fight. I'm like, and AJ Styles with the street fight clothes on. It's typical street fight, wear, turn up shirts and jeans or something. And then you have Christopher Daniels coming out, with his like dress slacks and shoes, dress shoes, dress pants, and and a dress shirt. I'm like, seriously. I'm like, wow. And also, Kurt Angle also gave up his power as director of authority of Impact Wrestling, as the director of authority in Impact Wrestling. So he's back, and he's back on the active roster for, to take on this stuff with MVP and everything. And speaking of MVP, him, Kenny, and all this other stuff, they've been talking, they talked about him saying, oh, we're going to bring back the family together or something like that since Lashley. Since I've been watching Impact for the most part, since Lashley actually lost the title, he felt like, honestly, after MVP trashed him, saying, without my leg being busted, I would have been the world champion. Lashley, on the other hand, took offense to that, and he's been basically moving away from the whole crew, with MVP's crew. And now, at the main event, which was really good, really, really good until, the match against him and Bobby was really good until you had these people walking around. You have MVP and Kenny King walking down with him, with these two guys who look right out of the Purge movie, which I think Full Killer said. These two are, let's see, Ezekiel Jackson and Snitsky. He's leaving. He's like, yes, F this, I'm rolling out. But it wasn't. It's, in fact, it's called basically the Beatdown Crew. It has MVP, Kenny King, Samoa Joe, Low Key, and weirdly enough, Eric Young, that came in and cost the world title for Bobby Roode back to Lashley, and Lashley's looking like, what's going on for it? Lashley doesn't know what's going on. He's now with this crew, or is he not with this crew? We don't know. We have actually intrigue instead of, we have something of a storyline. I know what people say, oh, long TNA, but it's at least something moving forward. I did like the production, even though there are some things I didn't like about it. I didn't like the crowd getting censored. I'm like, Destination America somehow has class, but yet they show 1,000 haunting shows of people haunting, like, oh, Bigfoot's real, all these, like, mysterious hauntings, these type of shows, these ghost hunting shows. They're trying to find Dracula, or, trying to find werewolves in, I saw this commercial. They're trying to, like, seriously, no joke, trying to find werewolves and, like, and vampires, hunting the supernatural and stuff like that, like, all that type of stuff. I'm like, seriously? No, seriously? You're gonna do all that stuff, man? That's just, y'all just like, no, man. No, yeah, you're offended by a cursing, by some unfettered language. Oh, Destination America. Ooh, we have class here. Psst, please. You ain't got no class. You got no class at all. No class at all. Destination America. Seriously. Oh, by the way, EC3 did some good stuff for him and JB. I think it's really interesting stuff with him and Rockstar Spud. Which, by the way, I love Spud, and I think they continue to go that feud. I actually really did like that segment. Also, Josh Matthews, breath of fresh air. I think Josh Matthews actually made Taz actually tolerable, which I think was actually not possible, but they did. Also, Awesome Kong, Amazing Kong, I don't know what you call her. she's back at TNA, and I am pumped. And I honestly can't wait to see her and Havoc do a huge giant. I can't wait for that. Um, yeah, I can't wait for that as well. So I think this is great. I can't wait to see more of this. It's something positive, and I am just really into Destination America's version of Impact Wrestling, even though the crowd probably wasn't as big as they would like. Anyway, they are going to be moving to Wednesdays from 9 o'clock. Now they're going to Fridays because, hey, SmackDown's going to Thursdays. But then again, I don't really care about SmackDown. Even though they're going to have Daniel Bryan wrestling, I still don't care. In fact, it's just basically a B show. And honestly, a lot of people, honestly, the only way they could have gave SmackDown more importance was basically bringing that back the brand extension, which honestly, I hope they actually do. Just say, you know what, we made a huge mistake. Have the brand extension, have these different characters competing, build up those things, and all that type of stuff. Oh, and by the way, um, speaking of all this type of SmackDowns, it looks like Jerry Lawler is going to be on SmackDown as well, which is, barring his health issues and such, and with his latest health scare. It's funny because the WWE seemed to be trying to unpack him for a real long while, and they didn't want to do it. They were actually making moves to do it, but he had the heart attack, and it was really cool to keep him around. Like, we can't fire him now, or get rid of him now, push him back in the back, push him away from the main show. But now, since he has this other health scare, they're like, well, maybe you have an excuse to put him on SmackDown. I think that would be, personally, Jerry Lawler on SmackDown. You'll probably get ISL 9 or something so they can just do the show from him doing the show on Skype. I wouldn't be surprised by that, but I don't know. I do not know, ladies and gentlemen. I do not know, and I do not care. I do not know, but I don't care for Jerry Lawler's as a commentator. I think he's way past his prime. I think he was past his prime around 2008. That's my personal opinion. But yeah, I think hopefully they're going to start moving up those guys and gals, hopefully when they're young, up to the main show and just actually get some people who are, make the show feel fun and actually something not actually basically trying to make their ears bleed for 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, it was Monday Night Raw and such. But maybe one day they'll get their heads out their rear ends and actually say, you know what, we get our ass kicked in ratings. The crowd is basically silent during. I mean, Debbie, did you watch people? I want you to ask. I know I'm going on this tangent, but did you look at the ending of Monday Night Raw? I watched it. That crowd was dead. They didn't give two iota, a minuscule of a electron of an entire, just a little bit. They didn't give a single fuck about this whole show. They didn't. They did not care at all. I mean, it went off like a wet fart in church. I was like, how? They didn't care about Ziggler, Rowan, or Ryback getting fired, and then have the whole celebration of Stephanie doing this. They're like this. And I think they probably had a moment. They're like, this show is horrible. I'm wasting my life doing this. The little kids are like, I'm wasting my time watching this. There are the shows. I could be watching Adventure Time. I could be watching little kids, like little boys and girls. I could be watching Adventure Time. I could be watching My Little Pony Friendship and Magic. I could be watching the latest, the Marvel's cartoons or whatever. They could be watching all these type of stuff. And I think they're going to get that realization. And that's going to be, you know what? I hope they start putting these people in NXT up so they can actually have some memorable stuff. I some really, really just something more, making shows more important. Making shows more, every moment on the show seems important. Sadly, the WWE never ever does. And as long as Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn is just yelling things in the microphone, trying to do all these gosh darn buzzwords and all these trying things to get trending and everybody like that, it will never change, people. It will never change until someone just gets both of them and give them both the boot. Big old boot. Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon. But that's not going to happen for a very long time. A very long time. Anyway, back to Destination America, Destination Impact. I thought it was a really good show. I think it was something that honestly, hopefully, Impact can move forward. And I heard, and I not spoiled myself on the Impact tapings. I did look at what they're going on, and I'm really impressed by some of it. And so, but I don't have a good enough memory. I forgot already. I just skimmed them a bit. I didn't know what's going to happen, but I'm looking forward to the next couple of Impacts. I'm considering moving my show 11 to 11 o'clock so I can at least catch because honestly, TNA Impact is going to be on Fridays 9 to 10. Because that's going to be the new time. And I don't know, because at least SmackDown was over at 10, so I can at least, if I wanted to care about SmackDown, which I don't, at least I could watch that and just do that. But Impact, that's like an hour. I mean, I could watch it. I could watch it with the mute, but it wouldn't really be the same. I mean, unless y'all want me to, and just maybe record it and watch it again. But honestly, maybe I should move my show to 11. I don't know. Leave something in the comments if y'all want me to do so. Anyway, this is Duke CT, and this is it for the Duke CT Lounge. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, it was actually shorter. Yay me! It's gonna be even shorter when I just cut that caller off in California. Yeah, you know what? Because I ain't got time for that stuff. Yeah. By the way, yeah, you hear the edited stuff. There was an idiotic caller. I just didn't care for him at all. So, cutty, cut the caller out. Yeah, talk about gold dust and try to do a river and rhyme like stuff, man. Shoot, I ain't got time for that. Anyway, Stu CT here. Peace and love. And yeah, I will still take callers. I don't care. Yeah, I will still take them. Anyway, this is Duke CT here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.